The 2011 Japan Tsunami by Olivia.
A tsunami is a natural disaster caused by earthquakes and plate movement under the ocean. The result is giant waves traveling as fast as jet planes, only slowing down when reaching shallow water. The impacts of the Japan tsunami were radiation, debris, death, loss of power, loss of food and water, and destruction. The Japan tsunami was caused by an earthquake not too far from where it all started. Before the tsunami, an earthquake shook the ground, causing a tsunami to surface. This tsunami then moved along to Fukushima, Minato, and many more places along the coastline.
The Japan tsunami lasted about 6 minutes. An earthquake shook Japan right before the devastating tsunami, causing the awful disaster that followed it. Before the tsunami, the landscape was a home to many people. Now, after the tsunami, even after 4 years, some places are still scarred by the tsunami's huge waves. The wave height of the tsunami was huge and went all the way up to 33 feet high. That's about as tall as 5 stories tall, depending how big the building is. When the temperature inside a nuclear reactor reaches higher than 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the outer metal dome of the reactor starts to brittle and break. When this happens, nuclear waste is released into the water. After the disaster, people noticed that many nuclear reactors were leaking radiation. This could put many people's lives at risk and cause them to get a cancer called thyroid cancer. The death rate of the tsunami was awfully high. About 19,000 people died. The tsunami destroyed many homes and buildings, leaving many people homeless and without food and water. The tsunami affected about 19,000 people and its families who lost loved ones. Even the people who did not perish were unable to have clean water and food for many days. The electricity loss was very big. About 2.5 million households were left without electricity after the disaster. About 1.4 million households were left without food and water. Some food inspectors found iodine 5 times past the limit in milk and 7 times past the limit in spinach. This could harm many people and be a very big health hazard. Much of the debris from the tsunami was swept into sea, carrying it with the current. Many animals also clung to the debris that floated across the sea, putting them in danger of dying from starvation. People were worried that this debris would bring animals native to other places to where they live. About 300,000 people to 400,000 people evacuated after the Fukushima nuclear disaster occurred. The aftermath was terrible. Many buildings and houses perished in the 30 feet high waves. About 3 years later, most buildings are rebuilt and nuclear reactors are back and running. Many groups and people have helped in many ways, such as donating money, donating food, donating clothes, and donating much more. Although many people have passed away and many buildings have been destroyed, many groups and people have contributed to the causes that help the survivors. It has been a tough time for those who suffered from the damage, but it is also a time to help others. The Japan tsunami was a huge disaster that occurred in Japan. Lots of people passed away and were relocated to new areas. In addition, Japan lost millions of dollars due to destruction and nuclear disaster. Now, because of that, their tsunami warning system has grown and gotten way better.